got the purchase welded in. A few other things he did. Did a kick-arse job. Can't say the bad word. Caught myself. Kick-arse job. Last night on the dyno, he fabbed up a pretty simple brace here. I did this on my first dyno because these are meant for motorcycles, of course. And what this is going to do is allow us to put a scooter in here, and then you take this guy off and you can fit a full-size bike, and then obviously you have your adjustment for it to go back and forth. Yeah, he did a really good job. Very simple. Again, this is just where your wheel's going to go, and you would strap it like normal. That shortens up the dyno. Today I'm going to get this all set up, clean this area up because it looks horrible. I don't even know there's spray paint on the wall and all that good stuff. Did a few jobs here, but most importantly, drive shaft I'm shipping out today because I'm too lazy to drive to North Portland to drop it off. Let's go over here and shut the compressor off because it's obnoxious. He went ahead and looks like he just tacked these perches here, but you've got your pin which centers your perch, centers your axle up. I was gonna cut these on the plasma table, but the way it worked out on time, the time didn't work out. He actually just hand cut these with the plasma table. But we have a bolt ran through here for the shock. Typically I would say that's not sufficient, but this truck will probably never have more than 800 pounds in the bed, and I don't think it's gonna be a problem. But this is what centers up the axle. Now we need to get some U-bolts for this guy. Shocks are on. You did a good job. It's all centered up. The one thing we're kind of bummed about is there's a miscommunication on the diff. We're supposed to get offset this way and it didn't, and it's a little bit angled, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem because it's so slight. Whether it's angled to the left or right, as long as, from my understanding, as long as the angle of this matches the angle of that flange, it should be good. As long as they're equal, then they're gonna be spinning at the same RPM. I have to get some spacers because when I shorten this up, an inch narrower than the than the other differential, thinking I'd have more room, of course, to space it out if I wanted fatter wheels, but it's so close to the springs now, believe it or not, so I'm gonna probably get some longer studs and put on just some small spacers to get more clearance. I wanted to tuck it in because I don't like so much how the tires stick out like this. I want to bring it in if I can, and this thing's going to be doing so many burnouts that this is going to be flinging stuff everywhere. My guess tonight, he'll probably finish welding all this up, finish welding up the perches on both sides. Also start forming a plan for the brake lines, proportioning valve, and start running all that. And I'm gonna pop the, I don't know, if I may drive this, I don't know, I may drive this thing to drop it off, not sure yet. I may ship it, depending on my level of enthusiasm today. That's really gonna be it, guys. I'd assume the brake lines are gonna be done. The brakes are gonna be on and everything probably by Saturday or Monday. The drive shaft is gonna take a little bit of time. They're pretty quick, maybe a couple days. So my guesstimation, probably mid next week, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. We'll be ready to start this thing up, fill it up with oil. We're gonna clean this whole diff up as well. So once all the welding and all that stuff's done, then we're gonna take it and kind of clean it up. Should have done it, hindsight, should have sandblasted it first, but I was just so ready to get it going. I didn't want to kind of postpone the project that much longer, but there you guys have it. Got a little update now. You've seen the work done. You've seen all the parts. Tires. Let's see, actually show you guys, if I can show you guys how close this fitment is on here. Actually, you know what, let's put the rotor on just to get an idea of what it looks like. Oh, we're probably not really going to use these rear brakes that much, but again, it was basically the disc allowed us to machine the axle down smaller, that center bore or whatever, however you would call it, machine it down smaller to fit these wheels.
And there's a funny chain of things linked together here with the little squiggly factory one.
That's the expansion joint, bro.
Dude, well, you know what, with that dial it in thing, you could dial it all the way out and basically have
oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. yeah. Well, you probably don't even really need the rear brakes. Well, you shouldn't even have put brakes on the rear at all.
Oh, everything's loose.
I think think I might have said that.
It's definitely getting better, but Holden. Still clear a little bit. All right, go ahead. We're gonna take it out and actually drive it and then adjust it.
There's no gas in this thing either.
Oh, like dry?
Yeah. Which is crazy. I thought we put 5 gallons in it too. Let's use 5 gallons of gas like 2 times we drove it.
Yeah, that doesn't make that much sense.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like dry.
It wasn't full, but dude, we put the big container. We went and got Supreme and put.
Yeah.
That's lame. Probably.
Well, I mean, think about it. We started it and we're revving it for like, but that shouldn't.
5 gallons?
Yeah, I know. And drove it for what?
We had
like
gas
2
though.
miles?
Yeah,
It's not super, but whatever. Let's
Yeah. Yeah, I say snug the wheels up and let's roll down and try it. What do you think?
Seems a little weird to me that there was no gas.
I know.
Maybe Paul stole it for his Camry.
Can you tell me the make and model?
Yeah, I have a 2002 Honda Tiburon with a exhaust kit and an intake, but I don't drive it that often.
Okay.
And then
What is that?
I have a 2014 Porsche GT2,
Okay.
and then I have a 2016 F-150, and that's the
F-150.
that's the Duramax edition with the Power Stroke gearbox reducer in it. So it's kind of a rare truck, but I have those 3
Okay,
trucks.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It has a turbonator on it as well, but just
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, and what is the other one that you got?
the other one.
Yes.
The other one is a 1968 Chevelle SS Camaro convertible.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's the Shelby GT500
Shelby.
Camaro package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about that.
Yeah.
They are the rare ones too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. And it's got
And,
it's all-wheel drive too, but
yeah.
very rare.
And very rare.
Yeah.
I understand that. And do you have any other beside them?
I do. I have 2 more. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
I have a 1966 Impala convertible,
Okay.
and it has the Power Stroke in it with the 7-speed transmission. Tiptronic.
Cool.
It's the Tiptronic edition, so make sure when you're checking it, you get the Tiptronic version of the Power Stroke Impala.
Tiptronic edition. Sure.
Yep. Okay.
I'll make sure that.
Okay. And you said this is part of the Corona bailout, which is really good because this will save a lot of people money. This is part of the Corona bailout deal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And what is the last one that you have?
The last one I have is on order right now, so it's not here yet, but it's a 2020 Chevrolet Raptor all-wheel drive,
Okay.
and it's got
Very
the
good.
STI motor, the boxer motor in it.
You got hell of a best collection.
I know, man. Life is good right now.
Exactly. So just want to make sure, what is your zip code at the moment?
97206.
97206.
Yeah.
And Mr. Spinner, the best number to reach you back is same. The number is 543. It's 206-6905.
That's my office phone number. I do have a landline on my yacht, but I don't think you need that right now. This is my office number. And then if I'm in flight, because I travel a lot to buy exotic cars, and if I'm in flight, it'll actually connect to my Learjet. But this phone number should be fine for all those locations.
Okay, perfect. So that's all. We will get a rate specialist to reach you back and let you know your personalized savings.
Okay, thank you so much.
And Bruce, just forget to ask you, what is your date of birth on your driving license?
I hope you get cancer. I hope you get cancer.
I beg your pardon?
I said I hope you get cancer and you die, because you're a horrible person, and I just wasted your time. So, you lose. I agree. All right, you gonna go to the post office? Well,
I want to see the start.
all right. Like wiring hanging all over the place. That'll work.
Actually, yeah. Doesn't look too bad for $300.
I mean, it doesn't look too great, but do something with this. Zip tie party. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll put the bed on it, but yeah, see how it sounds.
You need to extend it too. I can always throw back from 10% once you get
The bed on. Sweet. Yeah, see how it sounds. But I'm sure we got to jump. Oh, I left the keys at. Oh, I thought I had them for a second. I was gonna say. Full battery, man.
I'm a zapper.
We already talked about this. Remember, you can't
I'm a zapper.
electrocute yourself.
I'm not electrocuting myself. I'm
You're gonna
zapping
zap
myself.
yourself.
Yeah.
I actually don't think you can.
You want to put on tires on motorcycles?
Yeah.
He's got his tires, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that stuff. Yeah, we have tire machine, balancer, and all that good stuff. Oh, wow. That sounds crazy. It's so quiet. Sounds great.
All that noise is the intake.
Oh, yeah. Potato? Is this about potatoes? Oh. Are you selling potatoes? Hello? Hello? Are you trying to... Come on, Paul, hold it together. As far as it should. I think it sounds so much louder than it really is.
Yeah.
Just caught behind us.
Is there?
I'm kidding.
Not there. You're
Hold on
driving.
there. That's true.
I'll walk back to the shop.
The train. It's like it's pushed too far in because it's still in neutral right now.
So that thing acts like it's stuck, like it's got pressure on it.
But when I crack it loose, it should relieve and go back.
Unless that thing is totally from going back, like there's a piece of crap down in the fucking return on it.
But if I crack it loose there, crack it loose, any pressure should just come right out as fluid, and it should just move back in its place, right? Well, it's too far in. It's too far in right now. I think it's too far in.
Oh, there it goes. Back down.
Yo, what if it got hot? Do you think you're gonna...
This is hot. The bed was just.
You think it got warm and it just heated up the fluid? You think it just got too hot?
If it does it again. Well, we popped the cap off.
Started. Now it's probably in gear now.
It is. Yep. Yeah.
Freaking power.
battery in there.
What's that? I know. They made a spot for one that's pretty small. Probably should have been a little bigger. I mean, I think they used a Hayabusa sized battery, so it should, in theory, be the same, right?
Well, yeah, but the Hayabusa isn't running that high pressure pump, and it's not running the fucking all the lights and all the extra equipment,
Yeah.
all the other shit that's on here, like fan. And,
That's true.
well, I mean, it's running the fan, but you guys.
Alright, well, this is the last time. Alright, guys. The mini truck is at my house. I'm going to walk over and show you kind of where it's at now. Last we left off, went for a little drive. Not super thrilled with the way the clutch works. It's actually pretty terrible. So I sent my clutch lever. I sent the clutch lever to, the shift knob to my machinist. He's going to make a lever, and we're going to mount a Magura Master on the actual shifter. And then I decided, since it's at home in my shop, just got the lift in, I think I'm just going to just go forward with the turbo stuff. So a couple of the main issues is the throttle. As you saw, the throttle was hanging really high. So the throttle cable's binding up a little bit, so I need to redo the throttle cable. And then the shifter, the clutch is just terrible. It was pushing the pin too far into the motor because we're using an automotive master cylinder and we're using a bike slave cylinder. So the ratio of fluid is too far, and the throw is really, really short because we took a long lever and we cut it down short. So when you move it an inch, you're pushing that pin in too far into the motor. So I'll show you guys kind of what I'm talking about. So your slave cylinder's here, and there's a pin that pushes into the motor, and it's basically just pushing too much pressure, pushing the pin in too far. If we go to a nice Magura, oh yeah, and here's our super cheap fly-by-night exhaust. We just had a local shop just do that, just to get us quiet where we could tune it, but kind of waste of money because I'm just gonna take it all apart and do turbo. So it's gonna be a little bit probably for the next video because this is gonna be a process, but a couple other things we're gonna do. Here's the flange for the front diff. This is where we're gonna do our reverse. I either need to fab up a starter motor, some type of 12-volt motor, weld a bracket onto the diff housing, and have a motor out here with a gear to turn this. And the idea behind that is that's gonna be a reverse. And since this is a locking diff, we can simply engage the center locking diff to get this whole section to lock in, because as you can see, it's totally disconnected. To get this whole section to lock in, and then click a button to power that motor to spin this truck to drive it in reverse. Because right now, without reverse and the clutch issue combined with the sticky throttle that's hanging, it's not really that drivable. It's usable, but it's not great. The gearing is definitely much taller than I was expecting as well. I thought it would be good, but it's geared to do about probably 130, 140 miles an hour. And I really don't ever want to do maybe more than like 95 tops in this truck, because 95 feels like about $150. But that's where it is. The turbo stuff, I'm gonna start ordering and start showing you guys how that's gonna work. But I'm not gonna probably be able to get to building the headers for probably a few months, because my TIG welder that does the good work that I really want to do is stuff that's awesome. His name's Dimestack Derek on Instagram, and he's busy. So, but my plan is basically to take the headers out here, roll them up, mount the turbo right here with exhaust out the side, take the charge piping up, of course, up into the bed. I'm gonna do a turbo that spools early and soon, so it's usable power, and probably shoot for 220 to 250 wheel horse, something like that. Right now I'm guessing it's probably a 130, 125, 130 wheel horse, something like that. So it should double where we're at. But anyways, next video you guys will see, probably be working on the clutch stuff. And it'll be a little bit slower because it's at my home now, just to get it out of our hair at the shop, because we're so slammed, we just don't have room. I want to say thank you for all the online sales. You guys are keeping the small United States business running. It's awesome you guys are spending your stimulus money here in the United States, because it's the whole purpose behind it. but we're buried. So it's been really hard to get to videos and whatnot, but maybe be a little bit easier having this guy at home. Not too sure, but all right guys, stay tuned and we'll see you again shortly. Thanks.